Moka pot part 3, practical usage. Here I have a small amount of water in the bottom of the moka pot just to see where it's boiling. As you can see, it's boiling very close to the edge, and to see how little gas is actually needed to get it to boil. And if you do this as a test, you can actually find the feel of how little gas you need. This is with the same amount of gas, and you can see that it's actually a stronger boil, even with a small amount of gas coming out. So to start with, you can actually have the gas on a lower flame, and you can regulate it. It's a good way to start getting the feel for how much gas you need to get just to get a very slight boil on the moka pot. Like, even with this small amount of gas now, there's sufficient gas now just to make it boil. You can just use this to get a feel by turning it up and down. You'll see exactly where it needs to be. I've put a bit of sealing tape round the outside of the cone, so hopefully we can actually see how little you'll actually need to get it to come up. And you see, it comes up very quickly. Ooh. I've brought the water to a rolling boil on a very low heat. It's better to heat all the water first before you assemble the moka pot. I'm going to turn it off now and assemble the moka pot. As you can see, the coffee doesn't come all the way to the top, and there's an ample space at the top of the cone. As you can see, there's a bit of cold water in the top of the moka pot. I've just turned the gas on, so we'll see how long it takes to get the coffee through. As you can see, if you do it properly, you can fill the Moka pot to the top without it spluttering or anything at all, and you get a very good clean coffee. You can just see the water receding now. Volumetrically, this is how the Moka pot looks. So in the first tank below, for a 3 cup, you have 240 millilitres, but at the end you will have at least 50 millimeters left over of water. So you only use you can only use a maximum of 190 milliliters. But the top half only supports a fill of 175 milliliters. So you don't even need to use all the water that is possible to use. But you have to fill the cone, and to fill this area here it's 60 milliliters. But where the coffee goes is approximately 40 milliliters, and if you have a 50% fill, 20 milliliters of that would be coffee. So you would have to fill 40 milliliters into that area. So you have the 40 plus the 75, which is 215 milliliters, which is actually more than you can get out of the bottom, practically anyway. So if you actually put cold water in the bottom, you're not actually going to lose anything, because basically you're going to be on the limit of what you can get out of the bottom. Because water boils at 100 degrees C, the only place that would actually be 100 degrees C is actually where the water's boiling, and everywhere else will be slightly less than 100 degrees C. There is very little water left in the bottom pot. Nearly all the water went through to the coffee. As you can see, the coffee is well wetted out, and the colour of the water in the bottom is not because it's like recycled, it's because when you turn the coffee off, when you turn the gas off, the water stops boiling, and then it causes a vacuum inside the pot, which pulls all the water from the top back down that's already passed through the coffee.